All right, guys, what is going on? My name is Tyler, and today we have a mock battle for the King of the Hill. This is basically an exhibition bout, as I talked about in my giveaway video. But I'm going to practice, if you will, and let you guys kind of see it and let you guys give some feedback on how I do this. Again, the subjects or the categories are material / quality for price, the EDC ergonomics, how well does it fit in your pocket, how well does it fit in hand, and how well does it work for everyday tasks. The availability of the particular knife. Now, in the King of the Hill series, I will never say, hey, this is just a generic Benchmade Bugout. The reason this Bugout is in this configuration is because it is my favorite configuration for EDC. Therefore, that is what is the comparison on the table. It'll never be, hey, imagine this is the S30V like I do in my normal videos or normal battles. Fourth is basic characteristics, length of blade versus overall length, length of blade versus weight, and ease of manipulation in and out of the pocket to make the cut and then put back into your pocket. Kind of a fidget factor thing, but it gets a little away from fidget factor, more about practical use, because this is King of the Hill for the EDC usage. And then the last category is enthusiast rating. Which one really has a stronger fan base? That one's going to be a little bit more subjective. It's also going to be based on the time and fad going on currently. So, take that one with a grain of salt. But it does need to be there because, if you pay attention to the community, you can really tell which knives are hot and which aren't just by, where they're popping up on YouTube videos, right? All right, so let's get into this. This is the Benchmade Bugout, specifically the Benchmade Bugout in 20CV and the titanium aftermarket scales. This is a very dirty girl, a very dirty QSP Penguin and in titanium and 154 CM. So these are two very niche pieces. They are very specific. They are not the generic model. They are a different model of what the generic is. The generic for the Bugout is the S30V with G10 or that freaking Grivery. And then the generic model for the QSP is the $30 micarta stainless steel ND2. And then you had the S35 and whatever that was for like $60. This one runs in at 90. This Bugout generically cost, if I had that, you can look up this Bugout in 20CV and the G10 for 210. You can also buy these Flightanium scales for approximately $60 to $65, maybe a little bit more. So we're going to call the Bugout value $275, which is kind of disgusting to say out loud, and the Titanium Penguin $95, which right there you're already going to kind of tell who wins this category, but let's go through it for the sake of shits and giggles. This is a practice run. So this is the 20CV Benchmade Bugout with the Flightanium scales on here. So for the value of $275, the titanium, I mean, realistically, I'm going to make an argument for why this isn't that obscene. You guys saw the Benchmade Adamas come in for the automatic version with G10 steel liners. I think it was steel liners, crew wear with an axis lock and an automatic for $310. You saw the large Adamas come in at like $275. And you're getting arguably better materials with the titanium scales. Not really arguable, but I mean, crew wear 20CV. I mean, most of us actually would probably prefer crew wear unless you live in a corrosion prone environment. Then you would rather have the 20CV. 20CV is, in my opinion, one of these things that really makes sense for this knife because this blade stock is very, very thin. What that means is you want a type of blade material that is going to hold its edge over a style of toughness, which crew wear provides a little bit more toughness, but a lot less stain resistance than 20CV. So that's why I really love the Bugout for that. The choice of the 20CV in this particular model just makes a whole hell of a lot of sense. This is one of those models that if you wanted to throw S90 on or one of those higher end K110 type of steels, not K110. K110 is that freaking D2. Whatever the other K is. Anyways, if you wanted to throw that on here, it would make a lot of sense. Why? Because this is just a really thin blade that's meant to be slicey. You're not going to put it through a ton of hard use tasks. These titanium scales are beautiful. And in hand, I never loved the Bugout. I never really liked the Bugout. And then I threw the titanium scales on there, and all of a sudden, I can't keep this out of my pocket. The ergonomics for EDC use, which I'm getting ahead of myself, are fantastic. The ergonomics for the carry are fantastic. The Bugout overall, especially with these titanium scales, really fits a lot of these boxes, which is why it is worthy to be on this table. Now, as far as material and quality for price, you know, quality I have no issues with. I really can't speak to the quality, which means that I don't have an issue with the quality. Therefore, I'll just give it a 10, right? It's really a yes or no box. And then, you know, the materials for the price, it's not totally obscure. I only say that because it is a Benchmade. They're already overpriced. Yes, it's a Bugout, but I'm talking materials. I'm not talking like model, you know. Anytime you do any type of different models, they're going to be more expensive. But you see a lot of 20 CV titanium handles in that price range. Therefore, in my opinion, it's not obscure. It's not great, but it's not too bad. Now, speaking of not too bad, let's talk about 154 cm and titanium. We got bearings on this guy, and oh my gosh. Now, when we talk quality, what I didn't talk really too much was fit and finish, because there wasn't much to say about this. But QSP clearly has fit and finish down to a T. Any knife that can just do this is just dumb. It broke in so well. There is no back and forth, no up and down. The lockup's perfect. So the quality on this is definitely a win over the Bugout, and the materials with the titanium and 154 cm, which is no slouch, which we typically see anywhere from the $80 price point all the way up to the $150, $160 price point, which is comfort zone, right? Is great. So this value, and that's kind of what the materials and quality for price mean in essence, but really break it down even more in depth. The value for the price is stupid. So on a scale of 0, 1, 2, while I don't have an issue with the value of this Bugout, yes, it's your wife's knife. Yes, give your knife back to your wife. Yes, it's good. Yeah, whatever about the Bugout. I don't care. I was never a Bugout fanboy. But once I threw the scales on there, oh my gosh, did my world change upside down. Yes, I am now. I love this particular model. I don't love all Bugouts. I love this Bugout. There are many like it, but this one is mine. That being said, it is getting decimated in the value to the QSP Penguin 154 cm in titanium. So therefore, the Penguin gets 2 points. Now let's talk about EDC ergonomics and ease in your pocket. So basically EDC ergonomics meaning daily tasks, and pocket. So, whoop. Now, in hand with these scales, this is amazing for daily tasks. It stays in your hand. It is not slippery. It just feels really, really, really good. The contouring of these scales make your hand kind of melt into the ergonomics here. Now, as far as in your pocket, it's no joke that the Benchmade Bugout is one of the easiest and best knives to carry in your pocket when it comes to just carry factor. So this thing is definitely a champion of both just relative EDC ergonomics and in your pocket. Now, the ergonomics can be beat by some knives. I don't foresee it being beat by the Penguin, but I'll tell you the carry factor is going to be really, really hard to beat. Now, the Penguin comes close. Let's take a look at this. Let's not fling a blade around. So overall thickness of the scales is just about the same. Overall thickness, let's see if I can get it with the pocket clip, is actually just about the same, but the pocket clip sits a little bit flatter to the body due to not being one of them fold over pocket clips. So in the pocket, does that make it better? I mean, you know, for sake of argument, maybe, but not really. You know, I mean, you don't notice it. Both of these disappear in your pocket. I would say the QSP Penguin is, in titanium in particular, not the other models, the liners, they're a little bit fatter. In titanium in particular, does rival the Bugout in carry factor. If I had to choose a winner, it would probably still go to the Bugout, but that's almost due to preconceived notions. So I'm going to give those two a tie. Now, as far as ergonomics go, I can honestly tell you these feel really good. And in use, you do have a little bit more freedom. Not freedom, but I guess you could say functional freedom. But I can tell you, the Bugout still wins as far as in hand. I would prefer to use the Bugout for a little bit longer than I would the QSP Penguin. Therefore, the EDC Ergos are going to get a +1 for that. So you have the Penguin winning for materials and quality, right? For price, rather, relative to the price, decimating 2-0. But you also have the Bugout winning the EDC Ergonomics for that particular notion right there, right? But it's only going to get a +1, so the Penguin's still winning. Let's move on to the availability. So the availability of these two is they're both available. I'm going to link them right here. They're both available. You can get them both on Blade HQ. That being said, if I had to guess, and I'm not sure that I should do this because I could be wrong, but if I had to guess, right now they're both I'm not gonna do that because I said that availability is going to change over time, so I'm gonna grade it in the moment. So in the moment, these are both available, so this is gonna be a wash. But what I was gonna say, if I had to guess, you're gonna see the Titanium Penguin last longer than you'll see this 20 CV Bugout in G10 because you also have to get the titanium scales. I guess I should have included that as well because that's what makes this model this model. For the sake of availability, I will give them a tie, but the Penguin might win this if you were to fast forward. I didn't check Flightanium scales either, which is my fault. I need to do that next time, but that's why this is a trial run. Basic characteristics. All right, so we're going to get blade length versus overall length. So we're getting blade to handle ratio. So with the Penguin, we're coming right in at 7 inches. The blade length is coming in right in at 3 inches, which tells us that the handle should be an even 4 inches. Bam! So you're getting a 3-to-4 ratio as far as that goes. So whichever one is better is going to be the winner of that. Not the category, but the winner of that. So this one, and take this with a grain of salt, because I did have to shave off some of the tip of that because the tip broke on this. But the knife's coming in at 7¼ inches, and the blade length is coming in at about 3 1/8. So you're getting about 3.125 over 7, well, no, hold on. 3.125 over, not trying to make this confusing, I'll write this out in the future, over about 4 1/4, so that would be 4.25, 3.125 over 4.25 versus 3/4. And let me get out my calculator right here and give you guys a ratio right now. Yes, this is the extent I'm taking it to, so if you don't like that, that's not going to change. I like putting numbers on things. Okay, so 3-to-4, 3/4, you're going to be looking at 750, but just for the sake, 3 divided by 4. This is the ratio of the Bugout, or I'm sorry, of the Penguin. And then you're going to have 3.125 divided by 4.25 is equal to 7.35. So the overall blade length to handle ratio goes to the Penguin, but that is not the overall category. What we're going to do here is overall length, which is 7 1/4, and 7 1/4 on the Penguin. We are also going to do the weight. This is why this one is very objective, because I'm using a friggin' calculator and flashing data that may or may not make sense. Anytime now. So we have 2.84 ounces with the titanium scales. So let's just take that right now. 2.84 divided by 7.25. That's going to give us a factor of 0.39. 3917. So then we have 7. So we have 3.31. 3.31 divided by 7 is equal to 0.47. So in this case, I had to think about it because in the last one, the bigger the ratio is better. In this one, the smaller the ratio is better. Okay, so the smaller ratio in this one makes more sense. The smaller ratio goes to the Benchmade Bugout due to its weight to length ratio. All right. So you got a tie there, right? Now let's talk about ease of manipulation in and out of the pocket. So let's just do a quick whoop, whoop, right? With the Penguin, you got whoop, whoop. There's one extra step with the Penguin, therefore the Penguin loses. The axis lock is going to take this category down by default now that I'm noticing it most of the time. What does that mean? Because there's a 2-to-1 win and not a 3-to-0 win in this category, I'm going to give it 1 point. So while the there was a tie for availability. EDC Ergos, 1 point goes to the Bugout. Materials quality for the price, 2 points to the Penguin. Basic characteristics, we are giving 1 point to the Bugout, so they are tied. Now the Enthusiast rating. This is going to be difficult, and this is why it's purely subjective. The Enthusiast rating, I guess you could say, is arguable. The reason it is arguable is because I would be willing to bet you the QSP Penguin in Titanium is slightly more sought after than the Benchmade Bugout right now. No factual information, just it's a little bit hotter than the Bugout. That being said, the Bugout has a much larger fan base. Holy shit. While it's not being the most sought after in between the two, the QSP Penguin is kind of a flavor of the month situation. Do I think it'll hold for a long time? Hell yeah, it's a badass knife. But the Bugout just has such a huge fan base. It's dumb. And, you know, for that reason alone, I'm going to give 1 point to the Bugout because I feel like if I give too many points in the Enthusiast rating when it's rated like this, it's not fair. So I am going to give 1 point to the Bugout for the Enthusiast rating. I just feel like it's just such an iconic knife that yeah. I mean, especially with these Flytanium scales that came out, all Bugouts are rocking these right now. Some way, shape, or form. You got some form of crossfade scales. Maybe it's micarta, maybe it's so it's going to get an Enthusiast rating of +1, leaving the overall score of 3-2. 3-2. The materials and quality versus the price go to 2 points for the Penguin. The EDC Ergonomics go to 1 point for the Bugout. The availability is a current tie, although that could have been the sway, right? Based on the Flytanium scale availability. Basic characteristics is a 1 point for the Benchmade Bugout, and the Enthusiast rating goes to the Bugout by just, there's so many Bugout fanboys out there, right? Now, myself included, but again, it's for this particular model. So, the Bugout would win the King of the Hill between these two, but I don't know that I ever intend to actually compare these two, because, like I said, I don't know how I'm going to do my weight classes. That is how a mock King of the Hill series battle will go. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Let me know if you found this entertaining. I thought it was fun. It's just another way to compare two knives, and I like adding numbers and value to that type of situation, especially with the basic characteristics. That to me sends it over the edge because it provides data, like a numerical value to something that is purely objective, and I love that part of it. My name is Tyler. This is Everyday EDC. You guys stay sharp, stay safe. If you haven't subscribed, freaking do it. If you haven't liked the video, go do it. If you don't like the video, go dislike it. Or if you just played it in your background, do neither because you didn't listen at all, you sons of bitches. You guys stay sharp, stay safe, and have a great freaking rest of your day. Thanks for watching, guys. Hey guys, if you liked what you saw, don't forget to subscribe. Also, don't forget to hit that like button and or leave a comment. The whole reason this channel was created was to interact with you guys and just share the love of knives. So until next time, you guys stay sharp, stay safe, and have a great freaking rest of your day. Thanks for watching.